Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy, so click the link in the video description and it'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got an exciting video today. I am back, and Ultra League is back, and we have some Ultra Premier Classic gameplay going on. First of all, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys, but yeah, let's jump right into this video. Well, as you might have noticed, this is my third Walrein video in a row. It's not because I think Walrein is necessarily that good or that broken, but it's more just we haven't really had a new Pokemon added to the meta since Trevenant. It's been a long time, honestly. So if a new Pokemon comes out, I want to find the best ways to use it. I think this is one of the better teams you're going to be able to run. We got Toxicroak in the lead. Walrein is the switch and Empoleon on the back. I love the Walrein and Empoleon backline. They both just share so many weaknesses, so you're going to do a great job at baiting out for the Empoleon with your Walrein. Essentially, whatever counters Walrein is going to counter Empoleon too. So, Empoleon always good. Shields up, shields down. Honestly, it's just a pretty good Pokemon in Ultra Premier. And Toxicroak, kind of need the Hundo, or you kind of want the Hundo, I'd say, or maybe something with 15 attack. In this case, Stat Product isn't king, just because a lot of the time you're going to run into a Toxicroak lead, and generally, Toxicroak lead teams are protecting things that are weak to fighting in the back. So because of that, they're not going to want to switch out, and you're not going to want to switch out. So it really comes down to who wins the CMP or who wins or sneaks the most moves. On average, well, depending on your region, I don't want to get into it, but you're going to sneak as many moves as your opponent. So if you win CMP, it's a pretty big deal there. Either way, this is an ABB team. In a neutral lead, you generally want to switch out unless your backline can handle it. Even if you have that advantage. So we have a Golduck lead. This is kind of bad. Confusion on the Golduck is going to absolutely chunk the Toxicroak. So I'm going to throw one counter and get out of there, get that energy rolling on the Toxicroak, and then come in with the Walrein. But unfortunately, Golduck actually also knows Cross Chop and resists Icicle Spear. So in a bit of trouble here. I go for the bait, the Icicle Spear on the Amok. Luckily, they swapped out. It's going to allow my Walrein to actually do something here. But this Golduck is still pretty big problem in the back. I'm going to get to this Icicle Spear at the same time as they get to their move. Get a no shield here. If it's an Acid Spray, I'll get the move off. If it's not, well, you don't. But Walrein has already taken a shield advantage and done a ton of damage to this Muck, such that Toxicroak can actually farm down from this situation. So they're probably going to come back in with the Golduck. Actually, they don't. In comes Charizard. Throw my Sludge Bomb. I actually tried to throw a little bit earlier, but the charge move button didn't register. Sludge Bomb is going to deal a lot of damage. They realize they shouldn't be shielding that Charizard at all. Going to come in with the Empoleon, and I know I'm going to have to take a Cross Chop eventually, so I decide to just no shield that first one to see what I've got to work with here in terms of HP. Going to shield the second one, though. And throw with good timing here on the Drill Peck. So, one Waterfall Drill Peck, and then I'll be able to do another one Waterfall Drill Peck here and take out this Golduck. So, all I really have to do here is take out the Golduck. Charizard can be taken out with either Toxicroak with a shield or Empoleon. Either works. In this case, I decide to just let Empoleon go, but I think they're just going to throw Dragonclaw anyways, so going to be able to stay alive just swapping the Toxicroak there. Counter down, end the game a little bit quicker. One turn quicker. Saving an entire turn. You know those turns add up over a year. Save one turn a game. No, I'm just kidding. Doesn't really matter. Our Nidoqueen lead. This is a pretty decent lead, but your backline's better, so I had to really think about it. This was my first set playing the game. Yikes. Playing with this team. So I'm going to throw the Mud Bomb and just swap out. In comes Jellicent. So Jellicent, let's talk about Jellicent. This is, I think, the only Pokemon I expected to see that beats the whole team. Obviously, Golduck does the same thing, but I didn't expect to see a Golduck, but Jellicent, obviously walling, Toxicroak completely, Empoleon can barely do any damage to it, same with Walrein. Walrein really has to land the Earthquakes, and they shield the first Earthquake, which is kind of bad news for me at this point. You need to be able to take out this Jellicent somehow, but at least I CMP tie, so they'll hopefully take out my Walrein, and I'll be able to come in with another Pokemon to hopefully take down this Jellicent. So I'm going to decide to come with the Toxicroak, and they actually come in with the Walrein. So, a very interesting play. I'm going to no shield here. They didn't even go for the Earthquake, so I know I can take an Icicle Spear, and I would actually kind of rather take an Icicle Spear than, so I know that I can tank a move. It's a very efficient use of energy, because that Nidoqueen's going to one-shot me. Get that Walrein low. I'm going to make another catch onto Icicle Spear here. Save that energy for later. It's going to come in very handy, right? We do have that Jellicent, which is a problem, especially because counter does no damage, but Mud Bomb is neutral. So hopefully we'll be able to deal a decent amount of damage to that Jellicent. Jellicent actually comes in now. Gonna throw the Drill Peck. And I think my win condition here is by no shielding a Bubble Beam. So I'm gonna no shield this. Yeah. If they just went straight Shadow Ball, I'm pretty sure I just lose this game. So it's just one of those, another example of where I guess just baiting can definitely lose games. That's why I just like to throw the move, you know? Don't mess around or anything. And they're just gonna quit out there. Got 2 Mud Bombs stored on that Toxicroak. Should be able to take out that Nidoqueen and Walrein no problem at the back. Alright, next game. We have Charizard lead. Not a great lead, but Walrein is okay versus Charizard. It's not the best. But in comes Poliwrath. I see a lot of people already bringing a lot of answers to Walrein. This was day 2. I believe I didn't get to play on day 1. But day 2, so my first day, all the Walrein counters are already out. I guess it made enough of a wave, I guess, in day 1. But versus Poliwrath, you're not going to be able to win switch back here. So I'm going to throw the Earthquake, just going to tank the Dynamic Punches. And you know what? Come with Toxicroak. Toxicroak resists Dynamic Punch. Ice Punch is weak, so they have to be running Scald to really do anything versus Toxicroak. And you know what? I think I'll take my chances here. Yeah, just counter down. They don't have Scald. And in comes Gallade, so this is a bit scary. You're going to throw the Sludge Bomb after 1 counter and swap out to catch that Confusion on the Empoleon. But yeah, this matchup is not the greatest, not the worst. I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon right away. Just want to get these shields. Hydro Cannon will essentially take it out, so I don't really have to wait for the debuff. And unfortunately, I shield Leaf Blade. I really should have no shield that. I think my win condition was no shielding a Leaf Blade, but I think I end up getting a little bit too low to tank a Leaf Blade by the end of this game anyways, if I remember correctly. Cat needs to sit down so I can see. I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon here. I undercharge a little bit to get this extra farm versus this Charizard, but instead they actually get to move. Very terrible undercharge in my opinion, because I just have to sack my Toxicroak there. But Empoleon's going to get a little bit of farm, and I just have to beat this Gallade to a move, and I don't quite get there. 2 turns away from getting there. So I did try my best. If I'd undercharged a little bit more and caught the move on Toxicroak, different story then. But if I undercharge a little bit more, they probably don't throw their move because they don't feel pressured to yet. They'd rather get to the Blast Burn. Alright, Walrein lead. This is great. Great lead. And they're staying in also great. They're actually charging up to the Earthquake. So I'm going to throw the Sludge Bomb here. They shield. I'm not sure if Sludge Bomb takes out, but either way, going to make the catch onto Earthquake or Icicle Spear. I really don't want to play that bait game, so I switch out, and just as predicted, they go for the bait. In comes Snorlax. This matchup is pretty interesting. When they have a debuff move like Snorlax, you don't want to be throwing your move right away, but I'm getting to 100 energy, so I'm going to throw 1 Icicle Spear here, and we'll wait till they decide to throw their move. Superpower from Shadow Snorlax is about half, so I'm going to live this barely. Going to be able to get off this Icicle Spear. And then not quite get to that next Icicle Spear, unfortunately. Toxicroak should be able to counter this down. Wait, that was a Walrein lead? What do they do versus a fighter lead? Well, I guess I am a fighter lead, technically. I swap out. I'm going to catch a move on my Empoleon here. I know they want to take on my Toxicroak with another Icicle Spear, so that's catch number 2 this game. And it's a Toxicroak in the back, so kind of... It's run the wrong way to be. It's just ABA. They took the ABB team and just turned it around. Yeah, ABB is used to bait things out. ABA is used to try and RPS your opponents, I think, at the beginning. But either way, I'm going to have to shield up twice on Toxicroak here. And then I'm going to have to build up quite a bit of energy as well. This Walrein is dry because I made 2 catches on it. But at the same time, I need to beat it to an Icicle Spear. And I'm going to be able to get there. I know at max, they can be on their 4 cycle. They're on their 5 cycle anyway, so I had an extra counter leeway. But I wanted to make sure I had at least 2 counters towards that Mud Bomb before I took out their Toxicroak. Otherwise, I'm not going to win the game. Okay, so that was just 3 wins on that first set. It happens, you know, getting used to the team. But still a positive set. It's all about that climb. Slow and steady wins the race. Toxicroak versus Toxicroak lead, so this is what I was talking about a little bit with IVs. My goal here, you can see my 3 fingers tapping on the screen. I'm trying to sneak a move, but they throw right away and I don't get my move through. Very unfortunate. Or no, it looks like I did, but it was invisible because it looks like I got the energy. So that's something to watch out for. Sometimes it doesn't look like you sneak the move, but you actually did sneak the move. So in this case, it looks like I snuck the move. So actually snuck it. Gonna shield that up. And then throw this Mud Bomb. Hopefully they didn't sneak and it wasn't just invisible, because a lot of these, this really comes down to counting. And then because I snuck one more move than them, gonna throw my Mud Bomb and take out their Toxicroak. So this is a big deal because generally backline's usually weak to Toxicroak. Oh, bad decision. I swap to my Walrein here, and I go for the Icicle Spear. Or, yeah, Icicle Spear. Very poor play. I could have made it to the Earthquake, I think. Earthquake at 4 Incinerates. So that's 20 turns. 20 turns. If I swapped after just one counter on my Walrein, I'd be able to get... I'd lose CMP on the Earthquake. So I think I made the right play on throwing the Icicle Spear. Fortunately, it means they're going to farm a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter. Empoleon can take them out from that HP, and it's just more farm for Empoleon. So Empoleon versus Snorlax now, because it's their last Pokemon and it's a debuff Pokemon, you want to be in with the Pokemon that they have to throw the debuff move at. So I'm in with Empoleon now. We just tank this superpower. Sure, it takes us out, but now it's a debuff Snorlax. And now these counters are actually going to be able to take it out. So just because they had to debuff themselves there, we're able to win that game too. And even if they were to throw Body Slam, it would be pretty close. Debuff attack as well coming from superpower. All right, Crobat lead. This is probably the worst lead you can see. Just it's such a hard counter. And we have the Poliwrath come in. So very common team, I guess, that we're seeing nowadays. There's the Dynamic Punch. Is this the Zionic team? Can't remember. So, Earthquake coming out. And yeah, once again, if they're playing well, then they throw before your next Earthquake. There's nothing you can do. You're just going to take it out. That's fine. Coming with the Toxicroak. We're going to farm down. And Poliwrath, obviously, just going to Ice Punch here. So, not too big of a deal. Going to be able to counter all the way down. Get some good energy here. And they actually come back in with the Crobat. Big surprise. Going to come out into the Empoleon, and they're staying in to throw the Poison Fang, so a waste of energy, but honestly, probably worth it if they have something that can deal some significant damage to Empoleon, or tank up Empoleon's damage, and that's Kingdra. This is, yeah, this game is over, especially if they're going to get a debuff here. If they get a debuff, I'm just going to leave, save everyone some time. Yeah, and they get the debuff, so lost the coin flip, probably lost the game anyways. That's not the Zionic team. The Zionic team is the... Snorlax in the back, I think. We'll see quite a few of those. Walrein lead. Usually they swap out here, so this is what we like to see. Machamp. Machamp switching, very good. You're not going to shield up anything on Toxicroak. You resist all of Machamp's moves. Every single possible one. And we're going to throw right before their next Cross Chop. Mud Bomb to try and force a shield or take them out. Yeah, I'm going to be able to take them out. And because I know that they have that Walrein lead, I'm going to go into my Empoleon here. I just know Empoleon is a bit of a worse matchup, so I'm trying to force him to bring the Walrein in, but instead it's a Typhlosion. I probably should have saved my Empoleon for this, but I was clicking before I even saw their Pokemon. Typhlosion with a farm is a bit of a scary proposition too, but I do have 2 shields, and Typhlosion baits with Blast Burn, which is kind of, I mean, it's kind of whatever. So I'm going to tank that Blast Burn. And I try and go for the farm down, but somehow I only get 4 Powder Snows, and I was trying to throw there. So I must have lagged 2 turns, unfortunately. So sucks to see that there was some lag there, but it is what it is. I'm gonna have to shield up everything from this Walrein. Typhlosion is a 5-turn move, so I know I can get my counter in before they can. Just gonna go straight for the Sludge Bomb, just because I know I'm gonna be able to get to 2 Sludge Bombs here. No reason to bait, and they actually let it through. So imagine if I'd gone Mud Bomb there. That's how I lose the game, right? Baiting once again would have been pretty hazardous. Gonna shield, and then, of course, take down that Typhlosion, just 1 counter. Even if it needed 2 counters, I would have been able to take it down unless I lagged 2 turns, like I did a little bit before. Unfortunately. So. Alright, next game, we have a Poliwrath lead. So this is where you want to see the Poliwrath. Been seeing a lot of Poliwrath, actually, this time around. And a little bit of, looks like mutual lag, I'm assuming, otherwise they probably would have thrown by now. Gonna throw a Sludge Bomb. No shields coming through. And That means I'm probably going to shield up here. They actually just Ice Punch. I was a bit scared of the Scald, but I figured I could catch the next Ice Punch, so going to swap out and catch. Yep, Ice Punch. That would have been very bad if it were Dynamic Punch. In comes Typhlosion, once again with Incinerate. This time I know I can make it to the Earthquake beforehand. Going to go for the bait, just because they still have 2 shields remaining, and they're probably very likely to try and save this Typhlosion. Even if the bait fails, it just makes it easy for my Empoleon to farm down. No shield. Congrats, going straight for the beam. You'd love to see the beam. You know what? Even though I get hit by the beam, I love to see it. And gonna throw at 4, throw the Mud Bomb, which doesn't quite take it out, so a little bit unfortunate. If I want to save my Toxicroak, I have to shield. I probably should have just farmed a little bit more instead, but I didn't know the matchups very well. And in the back is Kanto Muck, so in a little bit of a pickle here. Kanto Muck, not great versus Toxicroak, but at this HP, it's a little bit of a different story. And I'm trying to get it to waste its energy so that I can come in with the Empoleon and just give it a fresh start here. Thunder Punch obviously does hurt quite a bit. And they're counting my moves. They overfarmed a decent amount. But yeah, this is going to be very close. I really don't want them to get another Thunder Punch off. If they do, I might live. In fact, they will get another one off. And I'm going to, I think, barely live. And this Typhlosion, I don't know if it has too much HP. Oh, they caught the waterfall damage on their Poliwrath, therefore taking it out. And then giving me enough energy to get to the Hydro Cannon here. So that swap actually lost them the game, unfortunately. But I will thank them because it's good content, exciting game for sure. But yeah, that Poliwrath I think could have Mudshot down. They would have got 3 Mudshots in for my 2 Hydro Cannons, whereas instead I got 2 Waterfalls. Instead I got 2 Waterfalls in there, and they just got the 1 Mudshot in because they caught the damage from the other one. All right, Gothitelle, I have no idea what moves that thing has, and swap into the Walrein, and in comes Venusaur. So Venusaur, is this a Walrein counter? I don't know. I think it's a Walrein check at most, because while Venusaur wins the 1 shield and the 0 shield, Frenzy Plant is just busted, Walrein actually wins the 2. So I know I'm going to play the scenario that I win. I would love to win Switch. I obviously don't want Toxicroak against the Gothitelle. Gonna shield with the Frenzy Plant. At this point, you can just farm down. So I'm gonna come out of this with a metric ton of energy. I feel like that's 2 Icicle Spears. We're gonna come back with the Gothitelle, not Gothitelle. We're playing the evolved version here. Gonna throw the Icicle Spear, and then once again throw another Icicle Spear. Burn their last shield. Walrein's done such a good job already. It's taken even shields against Venusaur, and then it's done over 50% of Gothitelle's HP. Like it's winning this whole game by itself. I mean, I guess this is the first game where it hasn't been terribly counter switched. I'm gonna come in with the Empoleon, soak up whatever damage. I really hope it doesn't run Thunderbolt. I've been told later that it does not. And in the back is Walrein, and this is a bit tough here because they swapped first. I'm actually behind, so I have to throw this Mud Bomb here. Actually, I don't have to. I didn't have to throw the Mud Bomb. I should have went for the Sludge Bomb. The reason I went for the Mud Bomb was because I thought the count for Earthquake, and I know this is silly to say because I played Walrein for like a week in a row now, but I thought the count for Earthquake was 8, but it's actually 9. It's the same as Meganium. That's just a mental slip up there, so I didn't think I would be able to get there in time, when in reality I would have been perfectly fine. But either way, Empoleon gonna be able to get to the move versus Walrein and take it out, and then take out the Gothitelle, which I guess was running Rock Slide as most effective move against Empoleon. Shadow Crobat lead, kind of a tough one like I said earlier, and Obstagoon is the switch in. Oh no, this is not what you want to see into your Walrein. Not going to shield anything though. Goon, it's going to win this matchup regardless. You might as well just no shield, get as much damage as you can, get some farm on Toxicroak. Honestly, getting as much damage as you can is kind of a ripoff too. I probably should have just not even thrown this move. I should have just built up to the Earthquake. But this way, I can threaten if they don't throw that move, and Toxicroak is just going to get a nice easy farm here. Fortunately, Toxicroak's still locked in versus the Crobat. I'd love to have the energy instead of the HP. Yeah, so I should have played that one a little bit differently, actually. And in the back is Shadow Snorlax. So, a little bit tricky. I already lost... Or no, I didn't. Shadow Snorlax, this is kind of rough. It's not a hard counter to Empoleon, but you can no-shield the first one. Nobody has ever thrown the Superpower first in this matchup, and I played this team like 4 times, I feel like. Wait, this is Zion. This one's Zionic's team, I think. So, gonna shield that up. I'm at 2 Hydro Cannons now, so gonna be able to pop this Snorlax like a zit if they don't shield. Fortunately, they do shield. And Shadow Snorlax will likely shield both of these in this scenario. They know all they have to do is take out this Empoleon, and this Crobat is scot-free. But gonna swap into my Toxicroak. Gonna try and deal some damage. Sludge Bomb is the correct move to throw against the Toxicroak. Sorry, the Crobat. Gonna no shield this here. It's obviously a Poison Fang. There's no way they're gonna waste their energy Shadow Balling me. And then I should have went, or I wouldn't have made it to the Mud Bomb anyways, even if I'd clicked on it. But either way, gonna farm down this Crobat. They throw their move, burning my last shield. And gonna be able to take down the Crobat, but unfortunately, one turn fast move, able to take down Empoleon before it gets the move. So pretty hard counter team. Besides the backline, of course, but Empoleon versus Snorlax is a wash anyways. So I would still consider it a hard counter team, but you do still have some play against it. You do still have some play. All right, Nidoqueen. Lead. We're going to play this one a little bit differently than last time, if I remember correctly. Throw the Mud Bomb, either pressure a shield or deal quite a bit of damage. Going to swap to try and catch Earth Power. Or did I even do that this game? And they'll usually throw Poison Fang in the dip. I don't usually like catching Poison Fang, but yeah. I got baited into thinking I could take out the Nidoqueen, so well played by my opponent. Definitely don't throw right away like that. Ooh. Going to throw Earthquake right away. I just want to get this damage off. It's much nicer if I can counter down this Walrein instead. And putting in counter down range is definitely possible using your own Walrein. And in this case, I'm going to throw the Earthquake again. They actually win CMP or get an extra powder, so I saw something weird happen there. Oh no, yeah, they win CMP and throw the Icicle Spear, which is enough. But this is rough news for my Toxicroak because they can likely get to an Earthquake. They luckily bait and come in with the Nidoqueen. Not going to shield this up. It's just a Poison Fang, which means I can swap out safely, go into this Empoleon, get a little bit of farm for free, take out the Nidoqueen, and in the back is Trevenant. So I was feeling pretty good about this game. Trevenant, one of those Pokemon that kind of also core breaks Toxicroak and Empoleon a little bit. Although Empoleon can deal with it decently, Toxicroak with a farm down can deal with it decently, right? Sludge Bomb is neutral. Whereas, like, versus Jellicent, Sludge Bomb is resisted. So, at this point, I was kind of just thinking about quitting. My goal here, try and catch a move on the Toxicroak, and it really just depends if my switch is up or not. So, I'm going to throw a couple moves, and they actually swap out into the Walrein, which allows me to farm down with my Toxicroak and get to this Sludge Bomb and just absolutely take out this Trevenant. So even though it looked pretty dire in the back, I was even thinking about leaving the game. This is why you never give up. There always is some play that maybe you don't see. And while I was trying to catch the move, it turns out the real catch was the Walrein Toxicroak going fishing and catching something like Dragonite lead. This is one of the only leads where I'm going to swap into Empoleon just because Walrein has a much better matchup here. And I'm taking that resisted Dragon Breath damage, so it's nice. I get some energy to throw at this Toxicroak too. They're actually forced to throw Mud Bomb, which is huge. I would love to avoid my Toxicroak taking a move. Empoleon one's shield advantage versus Toxicroak because they swapped a bit slow. And then their Toxicroak's just going to throw a Mud Bomb here. I'm not going to shield. I'm fine taking quite a bit of damage here. It's Dragonite that Toxicroak has to worry about, so it's not going to be able to beat Dragonite here at this HP. So I'm putting all my hopes on Walrein. And now we have Walrein versus Walrein in the 2v1 shield. Obviously, my Walrein will win this. But this Dragonite has a move. Is it going to win it by enough? I probably should have shielded the first one. Most likely to be an Earthquake. But now, at this point, they can bait freely knowing I have 2 shields. And not a lot of HP. Either way, I'm going to throw this Earthquake right away. I'm sure we'll see a bait. I think I have to no-shield this bait to win the game. So we're going to no-shield. I think. Yeah. The Icicle Spear. I'm going to start shielding some Icicle Spears, obviously. You don't want to get Dragon Breath down. And they come with the Dragonite, and I'm going to lose CMP here. They throw their Dragon Claw, have to shield it up. Going to get to the Icicle Spear, and I undercharge it a little bit, but obviously not enough. It just absolutely chunks. And, yeah. My Walrein loses CMP, so this is, I think, the second time where Walrein losing CMP has materially affected my gameplay. So maybe in a Walrein heavy meta, having a very good IV Walrein is not the correct play. But who knows? I'm sure the bulk points have helped me win another game. Somewhere. Maybe. Either way, Sylveon lead. This is a bit of a rough one for Toxicroak, but I'm going to try and make them think I'm running the triple counter team by staying in for a little bit. Just going to throw the Sludge Bomb right away. It looks like bad timing, but because this Charm gets through only 2 turns of it, I'm able to catch that Charm not on the Toxicroak and save my Toxicroak for later. In comes Escav. Really scary for the backline, so great job baiting it out. And at this point, I'm kind of guessing it's Obstagoon in the back. Escav's a pretty decent switch for Obstagoon. Sylveon, pretty good coverage for those fighters that threaten both of them. Gonna no-shield the Walrein. Drill Run does not KO. I don't know if that was an undercharge or not. I don't know this matchup very well, but Walrein winning the 0 shield is kind of crazy to me. Especially when I caught the charm damage. Gonna come in with the Toxicroak, and you know what? I have to shield this if I want to keep my Toxicroak alive. And the matchup versus Sylveon is not too bad. Especially with shields down. I should be able to absolutely shred this Sylveon with the Sludge Bomb. And because I'm predicting it to be an Obstagoon in the back, I'm going to throw the Sludge Bomb instead of switching out into my Empoleon. And it's not an Obstagoon. So, unfortunate. But I do have to throw this Mud Bomb and then swap into my Empoleon. This is a bit risky. They won't quite get to an Icicle Spear and an Earthquake unless something weird happens, like a lag, which has happened before, you know, especially already in the games you've seen today. But going to be able to pull that one out. No big deal. Another positive set. That's just multiple positive sets so far. I don't even know how many positive sets. Is that 3 so far? 3 positive sets? I don't know. Anyways, next set. We have Electivire lead. This is tricky because in the 2 shield, Electivire beats the whole team. So they're going to throw. I'm going to shield, of course. It's likely Wild Charge and Switch. And in comes Escav. So while Electivire in the lead was not too bad because I felt like I could come in with energy on something else, Electivire into Escav. Pretty scary because now I do need to throw my energy at this Escav. So the matchup versus Escav, if you land a Mud Bomb, you can just farm all the way down. So I'm going to shield up. Unfortunately, this leaves me shieldless versus probably the best charger in the entire Ultra League Premier metagame, and that is Electivire. So I'm going to throw the Mud Bomb here, and I realize they must be really weak to Toxicroak in the back too. So I've got to shield and catch a move because Electivire will win CMP. So I'm going to, my poor Empoleon, just sacrifice this Penguin, just throw this full HP Empoleon. Poor guy. Come with the Toxicroak and we'll see what's in the back. It's a Walrein. I threw a little bit early. I probably should have tried a CMP tie with the Sludge Bomb. But instead, they throw right away anyways, so it's okay. The counter deals or has enough fast move pressure. And then I'm going to come with the Walrein, and I'm in a pretty tricky situation. I need to end this matchup within 3 turns of a move. This Electivire. So I'm trying to find my win condition. This Electivire has 1 Thunder Shock, 4 more to Wild Charge. I need to end this within 3 turns of what I thought needed to be an Earthquake at the time. So I'm going to throw here. I know I can make it to Earthquake in 3. Well, 2 more. Throw the Earthquake, and it turns out Electivire had way less HP than I thought. Would have been okay with an Icicle Spear. Could have just finished it off, or finished their Walrein off a little bit earlier, but you know what? Decided to play it a little bit safe. That's why you count moves. Because then you can play to your limits, I guess. Shadow Machamp lead. That's where you want to see it. And they are going to swap to try and catch a move. It's Gyarados with Dragon Tail. Very interesting. No shield the first crunch because you never know if it's going to debuff. I'm very lucky it doesn't in this case. But this matchup seems pretty decent for Empoleon. Obviously, it's like Dragonite. Dragonite is pretty neutral, but then Gyarados doesn't get same type attack bonus. So I will shield a crunch. Hopefully no debuff. No debuff crunch 2 times in a row. This has never happened before. I am going to throw. I probably should have just committed to the farm down, but I was a bit scared. I don't know the counts for Dragon Tail and Crunch. And this Machamp going to get a little bit of farm, which is a bit scary considering this Gyarados 1 shield advantage. I'm going to come in right away. Throw this Mud Bomb so I can at least grab a shield back. No shield, whatever move they're going to throw. Unless it's payback or something crazy. So I can deal too much. And I will have to shield this move on my Toxicroak, unfortunately. So we'll see what they want to do. I'm going to go for the farm down, but somehow they have more energy than I thought by a fair amount. And Walrein is going to have to try and take out whatever's in the back. There's an Alolan Muck. So Walrein might have actually been able to do it if it were even shields. But because I had to go down shields there. Bit of a tough position. The other thing I could have done was just use a move to take out that Machamp. And then my Toxicroak would have had a great matchup versus this Alolan Muck too. So yeah, just unfortunately did not work out the way I wanted to. I played this match. Actually, I played this matchup kind of bad. I didn't know the counts for Gyarados. And I still almost win it. Just one fast move away, unfortunately. But yeah, didn't know the counts for Gyarados. Didn't throw against the Machamp. Anyways, Toxicroak comes in. Empoleon lead into Toxicroak. It means it's probably Gallade in the back. But because they switch in and it takes a turn to switch, sometimes is the disclaimer. Oh, this game, I remember it. I'm ahead by a counter. And now we're back to even. They sneak through as well. Unfortunately, well, technically I never snuck. And I don't sneak this time either. Well, we'll take a look at my energy. Yeah, so it doesn't look like I snuck that time. It doesn't look like they snuck this time, so we're still even on energy. This is going to come down to the wire. This last one's going to come down to a CMP tie. So, because I know my Toxicroak is going to lose CMP, if you look at my IVs, it's 13, 15, 15 best buddy. I have less attack than every Toxicroak I'm going to meet. I got to switch out. So, and catch that move. So, move successfully caught. Walrein into Gallade with shields down. If they throw a Leaf Blade, I can live. And I'm one Powder Snow away. I should be able to get this next Icicle Spear off. Oh, but guess what? Confusion, one turn Confusion decides to take out Walrein before it can do anything. So, lag 100% losing this game right now for me. If not, Walrein's able to take out Gallade. Toxicroak is able to deal with the rest of the Pokemon, especially with that energy advantage. And instead, I'm going to lose this game. This should have 100% been a win. Very, very disappointing. Very disappointing game. But yeah, so taking a week from Pokemon Go, I came back. Game is somehow still not fixed, guys. Maybe next week. Maybe next week it'll be fixed. Crobat lead into Obstagoon. Oh no, not again. Am I going to get boomed here? We'll see. This is a pretty hard counter team. Once again, it's going to be the Zionic team. Big cross chop coming through on the Walrein. And yeah, I'm just going to throw this next Icicle Spear as well. And then I should be able to get to another Icicle Spear. So, Obstagoon cannot just farm down. Like I've mentioned before, coming in with a Toxicroak later. I want to get a decent amount of farm. I want to be able to chunk this Crobat with some moves later on, maybe. I almost won last time, right? First time I lost. Second time, I almost won. Third time, I got to learn from my mistakes. This time it's a non-Shadow Snorlax in the back. So guess what? This actually makes it winnable. The Lick fast move damage is what's doing all the damage. You're going to no-shield the first body slam. Like I said, nobody throws Superpower first. They would be silly to, right? That would be their loss condition. I throw out Superpower first, I shield, and then I'm able to beat it by farming down. In this case, of course, I'm still not waiting. I'm just going to throw my Hydro Cannons. And they're, of course, going to shield up. And now they throw another move. Can't tank another body slam, so even though it for sure is a bait, going to just actually stay in this time. Spend both my shields. I thought about swapping out to try and make a catch, which is another potential opportunity. I'm gonna take out this Snorlax. I can't bear to take any more fast move damage, and this Crobat is gonna be in some trouble versus my Empoleon. Poison Fang is not gonna be enough to take it out, so they actually need to go for the Shadow Ball, and it takes eons for Crobat to get Shadow Ball. Either way, they throw right away, and Poison Fang, yeah. See, Poison Fang does not take out Empoleon. My Empoleon is still alive on the bench. We save this Penguin for another day. He deserves the break after tanking that Electivire Wild Charge earlier. So we're actually going to beat this hard counter team this time around. Yeah, fun game when it works, of course. An ex-legend trolling around the veteran depths with me here. We have Charizard lead into Machamp. This is tough for Walrein, but obviously these Icicle Spears hurt a lot. And they decide to no-shield, which means it should be a pretty easy farm down for my Toxicroak later. They also decide to let me get to the second Icicle Spear, which is a little bit questionable, but I think they're just going to go for the... No, they can't even go for the full farm down. Walrein's going to get to another move. This cross chop will take out Walrein, but It's done it. It's one shield advantage versus Shadow Machamp. Toxicroak can easily soak up any of this damage. It's locked into that Charizard anyway, so the HP doesn't really matter. One Blast Burn is going to take it out regardless, and then going to swap right into that Empoleon, and it's a Shadow Snorlax in the back again. We've seen how this matchup goes in the 2 shield. But wait, there's only 1 shield this time on the Snorlax, so I expect it'll go a lot better. The unfortunate part is they actually do have incentive to throw the superpower this time, but because they don't think they have the win, but going to no shield anyways. They want to throw a move. You know what? I'm actually probably just going to no shield. Oh, no, I am going to shield this. I thought about no shielding, just taking down the Charizard with 2-to-1 shield advantage. Just need to get 2 Sludge Bombs. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon here, get their last shield, and then go in with the Toxicroak and throw the Sludge Bomb. Whatever they throw, it's fine. Gonna shield it up. Even if they're at 2 moves, I should have clicked on my move, and the Sludge Bomb should register. And even if they take out my Toxicroak here, the Sludge Bomb will take out the Charizard. Yeah, I wasn't sure how much damage it was gonna do, but Shadow Charizard very squishy. Anyways, that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is a bit of a longer one. 2 things. First of all, we had 4 positive sets in a row, which is always a good sign for a team. Second of all, it's Ultra League. Pokemon are tankier. So some compounding factors here. A bit of a long game a bit of a long video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. And hopefully you guys learned a little bit. I'm gonna actually talk about some replacements now, so to see who actually watched the end of the video. So Toxicroak is probably gonna be the one that people are talking about. If you don't have a Toxicroak, maybe you can run something like a Venusaur instead. Venusaur or Trevenant is okay too. It's just you're going to lose to all the Obstagoons out there probably. So those are your options. Venusaur, you're going to lose to Escav. Trevenant, you're going to lose to... Trevenant, you're going to lose to Obstagoon. Toxicroak, you're going to lose to Jellicent. So pick your poison, whichever one you want to lose to. Play that Pokemon. And as for the backline, everyone should have a Walrein by now. Empoleon, pretty common too. You could run something like a Shadow Snorlax as a swap for the Walrein in the back, or the Empoleon in the back, if you wanted to, just anything weak to fighting, or if you wanted to replace Empoleon with like Obstagoon or something, it could work too. Stuff like that. Anyways, that's the video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, yada yada yada, and that's it. Thanks for watching.